everyone. Nope, you're not just saying things. You're not imagining it. I am doing like pretty much I'm reviewing two chapters with this review because after reading the chapter 12 as well, I figured it's just an end to the whole fight as a whole. So I figured I may as well kind of cover it in a generalized review, I guess you could say. Um, but the first thing I guess to talk about with these two chapters is something Boyle said to Sakamoto during their fight, which is him mentioning how it's been 5 years since he retired, and although and how like and how a lot has changed in just those brief like 5 years that he's been out of the game, so to speak. And the thing is, even though a lot of what Boyle is saying to Sakamoto is really just him gloating about the power difference between them, I can't lie either. There is this weird small grain of truth to what Boyle is saying in my mind, which is to say that even after Sakamoto had thinned down and dusted Boyle in chapter 12, like it does make you think. The fact that he actually had to resort to doing that at all kind of proves Boyle's point as well that Sakamoto, it's really debatable if he's even fully prepared for what's to come, because at the rate he's going, like if we're using then Sakamoto really needs to consider sharpening his skills, and not just him but Lu and Shin as well, because the fact that Shin even ended up in the position he did in these chapters is telling me that they need to train. They need to become as powerful as Sakamoto himself is in his prime. And Sakamoto himself, even if he's always held back by his code of not killing, he still needs to refine his skills so he's not getting as knocked around as much as he has been. Because if we're taking Obiguro and Boyle seriously as legitimate as the kind of benchmark for the kind of assassins we're going to be dealing with in the future, then I genuinely believe the next time Sakamoto is up against like someone of their caliber or even stronger, then he's going to die. Like he is genuinely going to die unless he finds some way in order to just sharpen his skills, try and try and actually like try and try and dig back to his roots or something. Like he needs to do something in order to resolve this issue that he's having, where it's like he's getting knocked around a little too much, and one of these days that is going to kill him. Is all I'm saying. And although on the flip side, I do appreciate how after the battle ended, we're like Boyle acknowledges Taro's skills, and he, Boyle does acknowledge Taro's skills. That yes, he is a true assassin. Although again, I do still think that yeah, the man does consider what he needs to do moving forward with this. Um, with that said, though, the artwork in both these chapters, but especially chapter 11, had a lot of phenomenal panels. Like obviously, there's that splash page at the end of chapter 12 showing Taro staring down Boyle's mangled body after crashing through the Ferris wheel. But we also see a lot of Suzuki's artwork in chapter 11, where specifically where the panel where Boyle senses Taro's presence, like even to the point where he envisions his own death, like followed by smoke clearing to reveal Taro in his prime. Like it was all one giant beautiful sequence. But especially with that whole Boyle's envisioning his own death part, like him kind of like having that sort of vision of how he would die. It's like it's one of those panels that isn't like very doesn't have anything grand or epic in how it's drawn, but it's just the simplicity of how the shading is done and how it really depicts oh like this kind of vision in Boyle's head of I'm going to die. What is this feeling? I'm going to die kind of thing. Like it's kind of that panel that really invokes a weird sense of fear. Um, which I like. Now, with that said, I'm not gonna lie. The way the fight with Obiguro concluded was a little strange to me. Where you see Lou sober up in the midst of punching Obiguro, and then all of a sudden, like, it transitions to them being friends. Um, like Obiguro recognizing Lou's strength. Like, what happened there? Like, what? I'm assuming it has something to do with her Tai Chi is the reason why Obiguro is acting so friendly all of a sudden. But even then, that like something something just didn't feel right in terms of the transition from A to B in that part of the chapter. So if anyone in the comments wants to fill me in on what happened here, that would really help, because I can't lie, that's the one part of this chapter that filled me with just utter confusion. Like, I don't know what the fuck happened there. Um, with that said, not much more to talk about. As I said, most of these two chapters are just kind of wrapping up the fight. Although I do like the little tidbit of seeing the flashback of Sakamoto and Boiled, and you see Sakamoto analyze the ingredient sheets. So when it cuts to the president Sakamoto coming out of the smoke, he's reciting the components used in Boyle's gloves. Like, it's one of those moments that's just like invokes that feeling of badassery, while also weirdly giving us a little bit of a glimpse into Taro's mindset. That while he might be an oaf and a little forgetful in his current years, he's still very observant and can remember more intrinsic details about a person given the right things to work with. And as as weird as it, like, it's one of those weird things where I think the way we can glean that is basically him getting knocked around allowed him to kind of study the components of 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 Boyle's gloves, and it reminds him all the way back to when he was at JCC, like training with Boyle, and it brought that memory back, from my understanding. So it's one of those weird things where getting knocked around, I think, helped him remember a lot about Boyle, I think. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Blue Sky, AniList, Crunchyroll. Be sure to notification bell, hit the subscribe button, and just shift around, guys. Dark Knight of the Night signing off. Later, everyone.